y'all doing? What's up? How are y'all beautiful souls today? I am so happy to be here. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I'm a little bit nervous about what I'm talking about today because today I'm actually going to try my best to explain to you what Reiki is. What is Reiki? Goodness, this is such a nerve wracking video to do because number one, I have nothing planned. My videos are not scripted. I can't script crazy, y'all. It just is what it is, frankly. But I really want to explain to y'all what exactly Reiki is, which is not an exactly thing because Reiki is not exact. It's an experience and it can't really, words don't really do Reiki justice because a lot of people, number one, don't know what it is. A lot of practitioners don't really know how to explain it. And if you look on Google, you'll get that Reiki is a Japanese method of healing with the use of light touch or no touch at all, energy healing with the hands, right? And so that doesn't really explain anything because I remember when I was introduced to Reiki, I used to pronounce it Reiki and I had no idea what it was, but I was interested, I was intrigued. And what I found out was that Reiki, when I started looking into it before I became certified. By the way, I am a Reiki master, which means I can not only do Reiki, but I can certify you into becoming a Reiki practitioner levels one, two, three, and a Reiki master. So that's besides the point. But Reiki, that word is a Japanese word that stands for universal life force energy. So that is our connection with our source, our connection with God, our connection with soul, our connection with spirit, our connection with the universe, whatever you want to call it, it's our connection. And what a typical Reiki session looks like or feels like is you're laying on a massage table. And when you're laying on a massage table, I am going over and scanning your energy centers, which are your chakras. And what are chakras, y'all? Chakra is a Sanskrit word, Sanskrit word that stands for spinning wheel. So a healthy chakra should be spinning, right? Because that means that it's rotating and working efficiently and effectively. And so, how do we tell if your chakras are functioning properly? Because we are energetic beings, but our human experience takes over, which means we depend on the five senses for validity. We depend on the five senses for truth, if you will. So what happens is when I'm doing Reiki, I can use the pendulum, and the pendulum essentially while you're laying on the massage table, it will go over each and every one of your chakras. And if a chakra is blocked, the pendulum will not spin. But if a chakra is nice and running healthy, the pendulum will spin powerfully, which means that there are really no problems in that area. And then if your chakra is just a little block or just malfunctioning a little bit, it'll spin, but the spin won't be a full flow. And the great thing about this is it helps the Reiki practitioner connect to their clients because the client can physically see what's going on in their chakra system because the pendulum picks up the frequency wave of what's going on and what's happening. So if it's spinning, the pendulum will spin. If it's not spinning, the pendulum won't spin. And the great thing about that is at the end of a Reiki session, all of your chakras will be open and spinning and running efficiently and effectively. So, when we think about the chakras, just to explain, just to give you an example of one chakra, so let's go to the heart chakra. So, we have four main types of bodies that I'm going to talk about today. We have the physical body, our reason, our purpose, our human body for being here. And the physical body is attached to physical pain. Maybe you're sore, maybe you worked out, maybe you have heart issues, maybe you have asthma, like a lung issue. So if you have those things, it's very possible that your heart chakra won't be spinning effectively and efficiently if you have asthma because you have a physical health problem. So that's the physical chakra, y'all. And then we go up to the sacral chakra, and that's the emotional chakra. So it's our emotional body. So let's talk about the heart chakra again. So maybe you don't have a physical problem. Maybe physically you're healthy in that area, but you have an emotional problem where you did not process a heartbreak. And so you'll see some blocks there in your emotional body. And then you have your mental body, and that's our thoughts, our repetitive thoughts. And we'll know if they're not functioning correctly because mentally maybe we have something going on where we can't stop thinking about it. And then we have spiritually, the spiritual body, which is our energetic body or esoteric body. I think that's the word for it. But it's about the functioning of the body. So even if you're okay physically, you may not be okay mentally, you may not be okay emotionally, and you may not be okay spiritually. And what happens if you're not okay emotionally for too long? You begin to get sick. You know how they say stress kills, depression kills? That's when those sicknesses become matter. Remember the video that I was talking about mattering? That's when those sicknesses become solidified. That's when those sicknesses become crystallized and then they attack your physical bodies. So hopefully I'm not veering off. Hopefully I still have you. Hopefully I'm not losing you. Hopefully you're still looking at the video. But that's just an example of the function of your chakras. I'm still going to make a chakra video. But I just wanted to go over what Reiki is and what Reiki can do and how Reiki can help us. So, how can Reiki help us? They can unblock those chakras. And what it does is, at the very best, Reiki can heal, but at the very worst, Reiki can relax you. Right? That's not a bad deal, y'all. It can relax you. It can relax your mental state, your emotional state, your physical state, which will connect you to your spiritual body, to your spiritual state. That's peaceful, still state. And I can do that when you're in my presence. You'll be on a massage table, and I'll go over each and every one of your chakras with my hand and unblock that chakra. So we are multisensory beings, but we live a five sensory experience. So, what does that mean? That means, for the most part, humans like to depend on their five senses to know what's real. So we have six senses where we'll feel something and we know it's real, but we can't necessarily validate it or prove it. We can only understand it with our feelings, understand it with our heart. So, what does that mean? That means that I'm going to try and prove to y'all how energy is real. So, have you ever walked in a room and it was quiet and they say, damn, you could cut the tension with a knife? That's you feeling energy. Have you ever spoken to your mom and you knew when she was dead ass serious because she would give you a look that say you better sit down or I'm gonna beat your ass. Like that's that look. That's energy, y'all. That's receiving energy. Or you'll be on the phone and you'll ask the person on the phone, maybe they're on the other side of the world, maybe they're in the next city, maybe they're in another state, and you'll be like, hey, what's wrong with you? And they'll be like, oh, nothing. And you know something is wrong with them. That's energy. So you can feel that energy. You can feel what's happening. You can feel what's going on. Even though you may not necessarily prove it, there is an intelligence in you that knows it's true, that knows it's real, that knows that person is not okay, that knows your mama is serious about beating your ass. Like you know this, you feel it, right? Energy is real, y'all. And you will feel the same type of effect from the Reiki session. And it's something that cannot be explained, it's something that can only be felt. So, without getting too confusing, I'll take y'all questions if you want me to answer them. And if you want me to answer your questions or clarify anything that I'm saying, feel free. But you will feel so much better after Reiki is done, whether it's a distant Reiki session or whether it's a physical Reiki session, you will feel so much better. And your life will begin to change and your life will begin to realign itself and rebalance itself toward your soul's purpose. And that does not mean that it's going to be a fun experience. That means it's going to be a healing experience. And I always say about a healing experience, the soul's priority is soul expansion. The soul's priority is not necessarily human comfort. Because you ever saw a baby's blankie, it's a comfortable blankie. It's a really nice, it makes them feel comfortable, but it's dirty, right? So what does the Reiki energy essentially do to your comfort blanket or your comfort zone? It cleans it up. And that doesn't always seem fun to your life, but it's very, very healing. So healing is never necessarily a fun experience. Healing is exactly what it is. It's a healing experience. So that's what Reiki does. That's what that energy does. It cleans up your life and you won't necessarily like it, much like when a child doesn't like when you clean their comfortable, dirty blankie that they love. So I hope that explains it. Not in a nutshell. Reiki cannot be put in a box, it cannot be limited, it cannot be put in a nutshell. But that is the most general idea or the general definition that I can give y'all with doing Reiki some justice. But like I said, it cannot really be defined. It can only be experienced. So I just wanted to explain that to you guys so that you guys can understand me a little bit more and where I'm going and my purpose, again, in the expansion of human and universal consciousness. This is about the evolution process. This is about integration. This is about breaking our karmic curses, healing generational karma. When you think about that generational wealth, yes, okay, let's think about it in the physical form when you think of money, but let's also think about it in the healing form. We are healing karmically, y'all. We are eliminating generational curses. And as you know, the old way does not work anymore. And this is what I'm here to do. I'm here to introduce a new way of love, a new way of healing, and a new way of just the state of being. So, with that being said, Hybriders, I love y'all so much. Thank you for listening, and I will see you all next time. Mwah.